Okay, now we're doing the written coding parts. So the question is, write a method that accepts an integer. So you have to read the question carefully. So write a method that accepts an integer and an array of integers and returns true if the integer is contained in the array. So it says the method should use a linear search. So you could probably just look at your notes to see what a linear search is, if you needed to, or you could just search them in order. So it's like your method should use a binary search. So it's basically just write the searches and sorts out, right? So this one, it gives 4 of them. It asks for 4 of them. That's about it. So it's asking for 4 different searches and sorts. I mean, just basically just kind of write them out. Put them into a method form. Perhaps lose the generics if you want. You can use generics. Doesn't really matter. You really can just copy the method, honestly. We'll just go with their answer. So public boolean returns a boolean linear search. Takes an int a and an int array. Then here we'll set boolean found equal to false. We'll say int I equals to 0. So we'll say while. We'll use a while loop. We'll say while. Let's just push that back. So we'll say while I is less than array. So while I is less than array dot length. So while I is less than array dot length and not found, perhaps. Yeah, so that's right. So and not found. So that means and found is not. And found is equal to false. So if it says while found, then that would mean while found is equal to true. So it says, okay, well, while I is less than array dot length, right? So if array dot length is 5, then it goes I is equal to 0, I is less, I is equal to 1, I is equal to 2, I is less equal to 3, I is equal to 4. So if I is equal to 5, it would be less than, that's true. So if it doesn't find it after searching all those indexes, then it's still not found, so not found means found is equal to false. So I'll just put here not found is equal to. So or not found means found is equal to, or it means found is equal to false. Or actually we can maybe just put the exclamation in front here. So not found means found is equal to false. And we can have opposite is found means found is equal to true. That's the shortcut versions I use that in other languages too. So you could have here, you can have an if statement. So that's what they have. So you could say if. You could use a for loop as well. if array of index I not sure why you can't use the dot equals method on that. We'll say found is equal to true. Then else I++. And under that we'll say return found. So if array of index I dot equals A. Did I spelled something wrong now? It's not letting me use the equals method there. Okay, so it's saying cannot resolve method equals int, so if it was a TA, that would have worked, I think. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't let me use that on T either. We did use that before. What did we use that on? Linked list. So you can check that now if you want. Of course, we've used the equals method to compare objects. It's not liking it at this current time. So that was in chapter 15. I'll just open up the notes to see. Okay, so it's down here somewhere. So this is list ADT. So they're using arrays here. They have target dot equals. So if array of index I dot equals, I'm not sure why it's not letting me use this equals method. If array, maybe I need some kind of brackets. No, if array of index I dot equals, it's not liking that. So maybe we could say so if we just say T target, whoops, that should work. If we say if A dot equals array of index I, it's not liking that. That's really weird. Oh, you know what? I think because we didn't use generics. So if we use generics, then it works. Oh, okay, that's interesting. That's very interesting. So you need to use generics for that to work, so don't forget that. That's very, very interesting. I didn't know that. So you need to define T first before it understands what it is. Then you can compare them. So it does end up working. I was confused for a sec. So I'll go back to the method. So what they have is you can't compare ints by like that. You have to use equals equals. Because if you just use if you just compare with it's not going to let you compare two primitive types with equals. It only lets you compare it with like string objects or some kind of objects. It won't let you use like lowercase car or lowercase double or anything. So here we'll have if array of index I, if array, so if array of index I equals A, Then we'll set found equal to true. I++ return found. Perhaps we'll just do a linear search 2 here, so we'll just try with the for loop. We'll type public boolean linear search. Maybe we could just overload. No, we can't overload it. Perhaps we can get it to take generics. We can search for an object here. So we'll say it takes a t target and an int array, or a t array. Takes a t array. We'll set boolean found equal to false. We'll set int I is equal to 0. No, actually we can use a for loop here. So for int I is equal to 0, I is less than array.length. I++. Then we'll say if. We can say if so if array of index I dot equals target, return true. Actually, no, we can say if array.target, if array of index I dot equals target, we can say return. Now we can say found equals to true because it was set to false before. That's all we have in our for loop. Then here we'll say return found if it's not found. So that should work. So both are good. This one's probably it's more efficient. We have less lines too. We could probably turn this into a for each loop. So why don't we maybe even do a linear search 2 with a for each loop just for practice. So we have public boolean linear search, takes the parameters, boolean found is equal to false for int I equals to 0, I is less than array.length I++, if array of index I dot equals target, if array of index I dot equals target, so if array of index I dot equals target, so it's going to say, okay, we're going to start at 0, less than array.length I++. If array of index 0 equals target, found equals true. So if that's not true, it's going to increment I plus 1, so if I equals to 1, let's just say I is less than 3, I++. If array of index I equals target, found equals true, goes back up. If we say if found is equal to true, then we'll break out of the loop, perhaps. Because I think before that was saying that it was always true. So it's telling me loop can be terminated after a condition is met. We'll add a break, Alt Shift Enter. We just read it ourselves. What happened there? So we'll break if it's true. Return found, so that should work. We could also change this into an so we try to do it ourselves here. So we'll say public boolean linear search. Let's just do 2. Takes a t target and a t array. Then here we'll say boolean found is equal to false. So we'll say what is the type of the array? So if t result what could you say? T obj, or we could just say t copy is equal to array. Or t copy in array. I'm not sure what they're going to change this to, so let's just see what it is. So this is what they have here. We could just copy the method ultimately, but it says if. So they have for tt. So we could just change it to tt. Call it ttemp, why not? Ttemp is equal to array if temp dot equals target found equals true. Actually, that's not going to work because we want this to be copied. We want that method to be copied. Oops. So they have ttemp is equal to array. So our ttemp is an array if, it doesn't really say the index, but if temp dot equals, if temp equals target found equals true and break, return found. I think that's what they have. That's what it was. It should work. So that's just how to use a for loop. So if temp dot equals target, then found is equal to true. So boolean found is equal to false. Oops, sorry, so boolean found is equal to false. Ttemp, so for ttemp in array, or for ttemp is equal to array, and this is going to go through the indexes without telling you. So if temp dot equals target, if temp dot equals target, if temp dot equals target, so basically if temp of that index equals target, found equals to true, break plus, so it's just going to search the whole array. So it's just going to search the array without telling you. So I think we'll come back and do the rest after.